All right, everyone get ready because today we're going deep into Tkinter.
Deep.
You know we love Tkinter.
Oh, yeah.
And we're talking about child windows.
Ooh, child windows.
And we've got this great article from plus2net.com.
Of course, plus2net.com, fantastic website.
Called Python Tkinter Toplevel to create child window with options.
With options.
So you want to learn about child windows, and we're going to learn it from this article together.
Absolutely.
So what are child windows all about?
Well, think of child windows like little building blocks for your interface, you know?
Yeah.
They're like mini applications inside your main Tkinter app.
I like it.
They help you organize things and create these dynamic interactions.
So how do we even make one of these child windows?
Well, the heart of it all is this function of Toplevel. And it's surprisingly straightforward. You just create an instance of Toplevel, and boom, you've got a new window. Popping up just like that.
That easy, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty elegant.
Wow.
But of course, you're going to want to go beyond just making them appear.
Sure.
Right? So imagine like you're building a game.
Okay.
And you want the character selection screen to pop up
What?
when the player clicks a button.
Makes sense.
You wouldn't want all the windows open at once, right?
No, that would be chaos.
Exactly. So the article shows how to use the command attribute of a button to trigger a function like myOpen, which creates the child window.
So it only opens when you want it to.
Precisely. Only when the user wants it to.
So we can make them appear and disappear?
Yes.
But what about adding some actual functionality to them?
Of course.
Can we put like buttons and stuff in there?
Absolutely. You can add all kinds of widgets to a child window, just like your main window.
Yeah.
The article has this example where the child window actually has buttons to close itself.
Okay.
And the parent window,
oh, wow.
It uses the destroy function for that.
So you can close the child window from the child window.
Yes.
And you can close both of them from the child window.
Exactly.
But what about from the main window?
Ah, well, you see there's this section where they create a button in the myOpen function, but they put it on the parent window, and that button can close the child window too.
So you can control it from both sides.
Exactly. You got it, giving you full control.
That's cool.
It gets even cooler.
Even cooler.
The article goes into some techniques where you can actually temporarily disable the parent window while the child window is active.
The whole parent window?
Yeah.
Why would you want to do that?
Well, you know those modal dialog boxes you see sometimes?
Yeah.
The ones that make you deal with them?
Like, are you sure you want to delete this?
Then
you have to click that before you can do anything else.
You got it, so you can achieve that same effect.
With child windows.
With grab set. It's like hitting pause on the main app while you focus on something specific in the child window. And then when you're done, you use grab release.
To bring it back.
Yeah, to bring the parent window back to life.
So you can like really control the flow of the application?
They're catching on quickly.
So it's not just little windows.
Yeah.
You can really change how the whole thing works.
You got it. And remember, we're just scratching the surface here.
Oh, there's more.
Oh, there's so much more. We haven't even touched on customizing their appearance or making them disappear entirely with withdraw.
Okay.
Or even the mind-bending concept of removing the title bar.
Removing the title bar?
Yeah.
You're telling me we can have windows without the bar at the top?
Oh, yeah. It's like breaking free from the traditional window look.
What kind of sorcery is this?
Hold on to your hat because that's exactly where we're headed next.
Okay.
Tkinter is way more flexible than you might think.
I'm excited.
Me too.
Let's get into it.
Okay, so let's talk about removing the title bar.
Okay.
This is where things get really interesting.
Yeah, you said it's like breaking free from the traditional window look.
Yeah, you know, you've got this sleek, modern application, but those standard rectangular windows at the title bars just feel a little clunky, a little outdated, you know?
Yeah, a little bit.
So with Nova Remover Writer Direct, poof, the title bar vanishes.
Really, just like that?
Yeah, and it gives you this clean slate to design something truly unique.
There's no title bar at all?
Nope, gone.
I mean, it sounds cool, but don't we kind of need the title bar to like move the window around?
That's a great point. And that's where things get a bit more challenging.
Okay.
You'll have to get a little creative and implement your own methods.
For what?
For moving and resizing the window. You know, think outside the box.
Like what?
You could use custom drag and drop functionality.
Okay.
Or even incorporate gesture controls if you're feeling adventurous.
Gesture controls. That's pretty cool.
I know, right?
Why would we even want to do this?
Well, imagine creating a custom-shaped window.
Okay.
Like a circle. What?
Or a polygon to perfectly frame a specific element in your application.
Wow.
Or how about an immersive game interface where the window just blends seamlessly into the game world?
It's like we're living in the future.
Exactly. And the best part is that these techniques aren't just about aesthetics.
Right.
They can actually enhance usability by directing the user's focus and creating more intuitive experience.
So it's not just looking cool.
No.
It's actually making it work better.
Exactly.
I like that. But, we've been talking a lot about the visual aspects of child windows.
Right.
I want to know how they actually make our code better.
Sure.
You mentioned modular design earlier.
Yes, modular design is crucial.
What does that even mean?
Well, think of child windows like compartments in a toolbox.
Right.
Each child window can house a specific piece of functionality, making your code more organized and manageable.
So instead of like this one giant messy file,
Exactly.
we could have lots of little ones. Yeah. Neat little bundles of code for each child window.
And that makes it easier to read.
Absolutely. Much easier to read, understand, maintain, and debug.
So it's like divide and conquer.
Exactly. But for Tkinter
projects.
I never even thought about it like that.
And it goes beyond just organization. Imagine being able to easily swap out or update individual components of your application just by modifying the code for the corresponding child window.
So you don't have to change the whole thing.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a game changer for iterative development and rapid prototyping.
That's awesome.
I know, right?
So it's not just making the interface look good.
No.
We're actually making the whole code better.
It's about thinking holistically about your Tkinter projects.
Okay.
And using child windows to streamline your entire workflow.
This is really eye-opening.
Good. I'm glad.
I feel like I'm learning a lot, but I do have one more question.
Sure, go ahead.
We've talked about how child windows make our code cleaner.
But how are they used in real-world applications?
Well, let's say you're building a data analysis tool.
Okay.
You could use child windows to display interactive charts and graphs.
Okay.
Based on the data the user selects in the main window.
Oh, that's much better than looking at spreadsheets.
Exactly. Or imagine you're developing a music player.
Yeah.
You could have a child window for the playlist, another for equalizer settings, and maybe even one for displaying album art.
So each child window has, like, its own job.
Precisely. Child windows give you the flexibility to create truly modular and customizable interfaces that cater to a wide range of applications. Think about the possibilities in game development. You know, character selection screens, inventory menus, dialog boxes, all neatly contained within their own child windows.
My mind is racing with all the things we could do.
I know, it's exciting stuff.
Is there anything else we should keep in mind?
One crucial point to remember is that while removing the title bar can create some stunning visual effects, you need to be mindful of usability and accessibility.
Oh, right. We don't want to make it hard to use.
Exactly. Always consider the user's perspective and make sure your design choices enhance rather than hinder their experience.
That's a good point. It's easy to get carried away.
It is.
So what's next in our Tkinter adventure?
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, from the basics of child window creation to some pretty advanced techniques.
We have.
But there's always more to learn.
Okay.
One area we haven't touched on is how to handle events and communication between child windows and the parent window.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
It opens up a whole new level of complexity and sophistication in your Tkinter projects.
Okay.
But that, my friend, is a deep dive for another day.
All right, I can't wait. Okay, so this child window communication thing, it sounds like it's really important.
Oh, it is. It's the key to unlocking some really cool interactions in your Tkinter apps.
Like what?
Imagine building an app where actions in one child window actually trigger changes in another, or where the parent window responds dynamically to what's happening in its children.
Okay, so they're all like talking to each other.
Exactly. It's the power of inter-window communication.
Like a little family.
Yeah, like a little family of windows.
I like it.
All working together.
So how do we make them talk?
Well, one common approach is to use shared variables.
Shared variables?
Yeah, variables that both the parent and child windows can access and modify.
Okay.
So Tkinter has these special variable classes like string var, int var, and boolean var that are designed for this purpose.
So you make these variables in the parent window?
Yeah, you create them in the parent window.
Okay.
And then you pass them as arguments when you're creating the child windows.
And they can both use them?
Exactly.
So for example, if I had a child window with a button that, like, increments a counter.
Okay.
We could use an invar to store the counter value.
Right.
And both the child and the parent could see it.
Exactly. The child window could increment the counter when the button is clicked.
Yeah.
And the parent window could display the current counter value.
Okay.
Or react to changes in the counter.
So what if we want to send a message, like from the child to the parent?
Okay.
Like, hey, this just happened.
For that kind of scenario, you can use Tkinter's event handling mechanism.
Event handling?
Yeah, so child windows can generate events.
Okay.
Like virtual button clicks that the parent window can listen for and respond to.
So it's like sending a signal.
Yeah, it's like a secret signal.
Okay.
From the child window to the parent window.
I like it.
Saying, hey, parent, something important just happened over here.
And the parent can decide what to do.
Exactly. It's a way for child windows to communicate with the parent window.
Okay.
Without directly calling functions or methods on the parent.
This is a lot of information.
It is. We've covered a lot.
How do we make sense of it all?
Well, remember, child windows are essentially building blocks.
Yeah.
They let you create these more modular, interactive, and visually engaging Tkinter applications.
So modularity, interactivity.
Yes.
And looking good.
And visual appeal, exactly.
Okay, what else?
Well, you have incredible control over these child windows.
Okay.
You can control their appearance, their behavior, even how they interact with the parent window and each other. And with a little creativity, you can break free from the constraints of traditional window design and create truly unique interfaces.
I feel like I've learned so much.
I'm glad.
What advice would you give to like a brand new Tkinter person?
Don't be afraid to experiment.
Okay.
Tkinter is a fantastic toolkit for building graphical user interfaces.
Yeah.
And child windows are a really powerful tool within that toolkit. Start with the basics, play around with the code examples.
From the article?
Yes, from the plus2net.com article.
Okay.
And gradually explore those more advanced techniques as you gain confidence.
That's good advice.
I think so.
So we learned about making child windows.
They did.
Making them look good.
Yeah.
Making them disappear. Making them talk to each other.
It's amazing what you can do with Tkinter.
It really is. Well, that's all the time we have for today.
Okay.
This has been another deep dive into the world of Tkinter.
Always a pleasure.
And we'll see you next time.